last time you guys were here, you had dealt with Zardoc the Terrible, the Dwergar warlord that had decided, on the orders of what he thought was his god, Deep Dura, to construct a monstrous dragon made out of the substance that you've discovered named Shardolin, fragments of an ancient, powerful civilization that once existed in this area. This monstrous dragon he had set forth to conquer and destroy the civilization of the Icewind Dale. After its destruction, he had intended to take monstrous beasts that he had drug up from the Underdark, and then used a myconid serpent to convert them into spore serpents to conquer the surface land and be the first Dwergar to do so. You were told by the cult of Levistus that in fact it was not Deep Dura, but Asmodeus, a rival of Levistus that was influencing the Dwergar warlord, and they gave you information about his location. After capturing 2 of his sons, you learned further information about this devilish plot, all while the whole of the Icewind Dale has been wrapped in this never-ending winter. You've managed to fend off the threats that are closing in around the Icewind Dale. However, with the destruction now of both Dugan's Hole and most of the city of Goodmead, and half of the city of Easthaven burned to the ground, the dragon finally destroyed its pieces of Shardolin, littering the ground as the cleanup is underway. The speaker of both Easthaven and of Caer Konig, Trovis, had basically begged you that this could go on no further, that the Icewind Dale could not suffer much more, and that this terrible winter, something must bring it to an end. You'd learned several things about from a mirror inside of an elven tomb, asking questions. You had learned the presence of an ancient civilization buried somewhere underneath the ice, and you had learned of a red wizard that had apparently discovered a spire from said civilization that was sticking out of the snow, leading an expedition there of men, many of whom he apparently murdered to keep their silence. That same red wizard you saw, and Jonathan, your character's eyes met with his eyes as he was engulfed in flames, and you recognized him indeed as a red wizard of Thay, and recognized the symbol on his lapel as one of the Arcane Brotherhood. Or a symbol on him somewhere. It was a tattoo, I can't recall, but you recognized him as a member of the Arcane Brotherhood. You had apparently learned the location of this spire from individuals that had the rumor of the location had leaked out from the people that he had hired and then subsequently murdered to be his guides through the wilderness. Potentially seeing this after learning about the summer star that was created by Copper Nabberknocker, I think. Yes, maybe. Yes. No. That wasn't the one that created. That was his friend. It was created by Macradius. Yeah, Macradius is Summer Star. You had come to realize that he was using the same ancient civilization's technology and had the realization that perhaps something buried there could be the answer to destroying the Frostmaiden's curse. Other things that you had learned is that people felt like it was this band of dark wizards, one of which you had seen burned at the stake, and you knew that a leader of that wizard group was held prisoner inside of Revel's End, the ancient prison at the top of the ice world. And you knew something of an island in the sea of moving ice far to the north, in the shape of a skull that held some secrets going forward. That's what you know. The party has decided to head towards I suppose, one of the only clues they have towards how to defeat this horrible winter. The ancient spire of the ancient city that you know the location of, which I will bring you to the map and show you where it is now. spire is circled in red. It is here. And you are all in the city of Easthaven. The city is recovering from the dragon attack. People are still sort of gathering their things together. And one of the speakers have sort of, you spoke to Trovis and you spoke to the speaker of Easthaven. And they basically talked with you about. They didn't feel like the city could survive much longer, or that the whole Icewind Dale could survive like this much longer. Constant threats. Monsters under the ice destroying the fishing. Ancient powers freezing them to death. Beasts from all sides closing in and threatening their way of life. You've managed to fend off the threats one at a time, barely trying to keep down animals that have been turned by evil druids worshipping the goddess of winter's fury from attacking, capturing the food supplies, freezing people out. You've managed to conquer many threats, but the walls are starting to close in upon the few survivors left. Party is in Easthaven, and I think you've decided to make way towards that spire. What if anything, do you guys have to do before you head out towards the spire? And yeah, you have now 5 of 6 ice beaks, axe beaks, snowy axe beaks that you were given by Markin in exchange for your aid at Dugan's Hole. What doest thou? Are we just heading out as fast as our axe beaks can take us, or are you going to try to supply up?
I think
going to?
We would like to probably want to find another axe beak and some supplies at this point.
Okay. You're able to find, there's sort of an animal like area where you can purchase pack animals and things like that, and axe beaks are one of the things that you can take in addition to sled dogs. An axe beak would cost you around 50 gold pieces. Purchase an extra one. So you're coming to realize the value of what Markin had given you in this area where people don't have much.
I was going to say, poor Markin. This was a lot of money for him.
A tremendous amount. Now you almost convinced him to come with you, but not quite. Yeah, so 50 gold. Is somebody paying for that, or?
I'll offer up 50 gold to.
Okay. You can mark off 50 gold, and you have another axe beak for everybody to travel forth with. And you said you're going to try to supply up before heading out towards the Netherils, or I'm sorry, the spire of the ancient city. How are you doing that? What does Harkis want to do?
Is there anything around that looks like it's?
Yeah, there are a few marketplaces that are around. A lot of them have been destroyed and decimated. It sort of depends on what you are looking for. There are general supply sellers, there are potion sellers, and there are a few people that sort of have scraps of odds and ends and things like that. You can try to search through the odds and ends and see if you find anything magical cool, but may the odds be ever in your favor. It's definitely not. It's definitely not an every roll gets a magic item kind of thing.
Yeah. I think I'd probably just sort of focus on like food for the axe beaks and sort of more things to ensure that we survive getting where we're going than
Yeah.
fancy stuff at this point.
Yeah, there's definitely food and things like that. There's adventuring gear. You can get, backpacks, blankets, block and tackle, stuff like that. Climbers kits, warm weather clothing. A lot of your clothing has been sort of beat down. You have lots of pelts if you want to sell them.
Will my madness for pelts let me sell my pelts?
It doesn't say you have to hold on to them.
Okay.
You decide what that means.
Okay. I guess what I would do is in this case, since I have all of these pelts, I would sort of see about trading some of them for actual coats and sort of
Yeah.
safer kind of clothing and garments.
Yeah, you're able to trade in. How many pelts do you have? Like 4 or 5?
A lot. I don't even know.
A bunch.
A bunch.
Okay. You're able to trade them in for, we'll say, I think a fair trade is 120 gold pieces,
Okay.
which will buy you 12 sets, or everybody has 2 sets of winter clothing.
Okay. Well, then why don't I just go ahead and make that sort of trade?
Okay. So everybody can mark down 1 and 1 extra set of winter clothing, new, fresh clothing, ready to head outwards. There's also things like grappling hooks, hammers, climbers, kits, things like that. If you're interested in purchasing anything like that. Rope, tackle, shovels, sacks, whatever you need. Pythons, picks.
I'm going to get a rope for some reason. I feel like I need a rope.
Okay. Hempen rope or a silk rope? Probably just
the price difference.
Hempen rope is a gold piece for 50 feet, and silk rope is about 10 times that price.
What's the weight? The difference in terms of how much weight can they hold?
Yeah. So hempen rope weighs about 10 pounds, and silk rope weighs about 5 pounds. The silk rope can hold a little bit better. So a little. I'm just going to say for the price, we'll just say it's a better quality. That's probably not true in reality, but it's lighter. We're just for the game purposes saying it's lighter and better quality.
What about the silken rope?
Okay. 10 gold pieces. And you have 50 feet of silk rope. It's a lovely thing. Feels wonderful in your hands. Yeah, there's also, signal whistles, spikes, tents. You already have some basic stuff. But if there's anything anybody specifically wants to have, a rope is a good thing to have. A grappling hook might we interest you in.
What about the spikes?
Yeah. There are you looking for pythons, like to hammer into the ice? Or are you looking for just like iron spikes to like stake something down?
I'm looking for things to strap onto my boots so I can climb easier.
Okay. So you're looking for like crampons.
Like cleats, yeah.
Crampons is what they're called.
Yes. Like we had at the very beginning that seemed to come in quite handy.
Yeah, they have those. Yeah, they have crampons available.
Well,
And
do we still have the old ones?
I don't remember.
Because I don't think they broke.
Unless you lost your equipment. If you already have them, that's fine. I don't remember if there was an event where you had to like shed your clothing when you fell into the lake. when you were swimming around against the lake monster. I don't recall if that was before or after. I think you bought crampons after the lake because you climbed the mountain afterwards. So you probably still have your crampons.
Okay.
Okay. And there is sort of market that you could search through if you wanted, if you so wanted to search.
Well, I mean,
If you want to try, roll it for me.
Might as well.
All right. Roll me a D100 and a D20
I
to
might
search.
end up with D100
Mm-hmm.
and a D20.
Okay.
Come on, feels like something magical.
Yeah. It sure does, doesn't it? Yeah, you the only thing that you find that is like even remotely old looking and interesting looking is a like a beer stein mug. It looks kind of like this thing that says Dungeon Master on it.
Okay.
It's old looking and interesting. It's the only thing that's even remotely like old. Most of what you're seeing is just like junk. But that's old and kind of cool as you're searching around.
How much for the beer stein?
They want,
I get quite thirsty on the road.
if you're wanting to buy it, they want 3 gold for it.
All right, that's fair. I'll give them 3 gold.
Okay. And you have a cool looking mug.
Okay.
Okay. That's all you find. Is anybody else searching through, or are we heading onwards?
Yes, Leonard will search.
All right, Leonard, roll the same 2 numbers for me, please.
Just a second.
To search through the rotted out, falling apart stands. 10 and 12. All right. Leonard, what kinds of things are you looking for specifically? What kinds of junk piles are you clawing through? Are you
So
looking for
I'm looking for jewelries and accessory junk piles.
Gotcha. Leonard, you do find a the only thing that stands out to you is a string of pearls. It looks old and unique compared to the others. The seller says that they're of fine quality, sold in the big cities, and they want 50 gold pieces for them.
Yeah, not particularly in the mood to haggle, and it looks like something I might want. So let's do it.
Really? All right. You've got it.
That really is a vote of confidence.
Mark off 50 gold.
Done.
Okay. Is anybody else searching through and wasting their money?
No, but now I want to sell Kenny some stuff.
Cantrell, Harkus has an old mug, and Leonard has a string of pearls.
No,
You don't know what Leonard has?
What I have is a delicious way to enjoy some melted snow or some kindling, depending on what we might need.
There you go. What about Cadillac? Is Cadillac searching? Yay or nay?
I do want to go shopping, but I'm not interested in this particular stack of wares.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I am very concerned about how impotent I was in the last series of battles because everything I have is radiant damage.
Well, the Viagra salesman is out.
And so
all of his
Oh,
herbs.
God.
And so I need a suitably non-radiant endowed decent weapon, and I'm willing to spend decently endowed bucks on it.
Something to stiffen your rod is what I'm hearing.
That is correct.
Okay. Are you just going to the weapons maker and saying, like, give me the finest weapon you have? Or, like, are you asking, like, do you have anything that is of magical quality that would be your finest piece?
Yes, Magic Pokers R Us would be good.
Okay, there's not a Magic Pokers R Us, but there is, like, a fine weapons stop for the, like, for, like, the very rich. And
Bougie.
yeah, and the maker in there, if you're sort of asking, what are you doing? Are you just saying, give me your finest thing, non-radiant?
Yes, I sort of say I have great weapons that deal out radiant damage. I'm looking for something else that will put me in good stead here.
Okay.
Put $5 on the table.
Battling big thing. Yeah,
Here's one silver piece.
and you know what? I'm willing to spend big money, and I put 5 gold on the table.
If you say you're willing to spend good money, the best piece in the city of Easthaven is a flame tongue longsword. And the flame tongue is currently selling for 2,000 gold pieces.
Okay. Is there a spark toad longsword?
Like a miniature version.
That's right. A spark pinky longsword.
Flame tongue, like fork.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a few hundred to swing.
Kentrell, did you have a dagger of venom or something like that you'd sold before?
Yes.
You sold it though, right?
Let me look and see. See what I have.
There's a dagger of venom that's for sale for 3,000 gold pieces.
I have a longsword of life stealing.
That's probably worth a pretty penny.
That's the one I gave him. Hey,
and I'm just gonna look over at him and say, would you be interested in this longsword of life stealing?
Yeah, they would be interested in it. They'd be willing to give you. They'll give you 2,000 gold pieces or straight up trade that for the flame tongue.
And I'm just going to look at Cadillac and kind of go.
Oh my goodness, Harkus, what is this going to cost me, my good dear friend?
Not a penny, my dear friend. Not a penny.
Yet.
I am apt to need some healing word later.
Yeah, if you can find magical weapons for like not much or nothing or free, but buying them, walking in and being like,
right,
I want to buy a flame tongue, that's 2,000 gold.
Like any good RPG, that's not how this works. You know what? I'm sure that's a lot to ask of you, Harkus.
In the indecision, I'm just going to put it on the table and grab the flame tongue longsword.
I don't think that Harkus uses it. Is the thing?
No, not at all.
He just like has it on his back.
Yeah. Might as well be a pair of socks with holes in it.
All right,
very expensive pair of socks with holes.
They trade you the sword of life stealing for the flame tongue, 2,000 gold pieces.
Okay. And I will.
And they put it on the wall with its skulls, ancient skulls, and demons carved into its hilt. And you have a longsword, flame tongue longsword. All right.
Okay. Awesome.
What about you, wizard? Are you searching through the till using your arcane powers? Or are you purchasing spells at the spell shop, or potions or healing potions Maybe somebody has the bright idea. Maybe
I
we
would
should
like
purchase
some healing potions.
Yeah,
Now that's
I'm
that's
going
easy.
healing potions as well, and then maybe a visit by the spell shop.
Yeah, there is a potion shop. It is called the Second Chance. It sells healing potions for 50 gold pieces a piece. For standard, if you want better healing potions, they cost more.
Let me see how much gold I have.
I like the idea that there's this alternate currency here of peaches, and we don't have any, so we would just be SOL.
Okay.
For greater healing, it's 200 gold. Superior healing is basically 2,000 gold, like the long tongue.
So
How much is greater healing?
100 to 200 gold pieces.
No, how much does it heal?
Oh, I think it's 4d4 plus 4.
And it's how much?
100 to 200 gold pieces, depending on how well you haggle.
Okay, so
Starting price is 200.
so I'm gonna put down 1,000 gold and say I would like 10 potions of greater healing.
Okay, he says, well, that'll be, you could double that. And so you're looking for a buy in bulk discount here,
Yes.
basically.
Yes, that's
I want to
exactly
buy. I want to buy all your greater healing for 1,000 gold pieces. Okay. Roll persuasion.
I didn't realize we were going to Costco.
Yeah,
For healing potions, you're at Costco. You can just
buy a case of them.
with a 19 persuasion, he'll take that deal. You have 10 potions of greater healing for
Are there
1,000.
any left for the rest of us?
They're on
yeah.
my belt.
Okay.
Yeah, they have unlimited supply of potions of healing if you choose to purchase them.
Yes, I would like some healing potions. I
How
cannot
many-
afford quite as many.
How many and
Uh,
what size are you buying?
I'll take the greater healing. I'll take
100 to 200 gold each, depending on how well you haggle it.
ooh,
Starting price 200 gold.
I want to try to haggle for the 100. Maybe get 5 of them.
Okay, you want to roll? What are you offering him for 5 potions of greater healing? He wants 1,000. You're trying to bargain for 500.
Gee. Can I offer like some weapons I'm not using too?
Sure, you can try to barter. This is a potion seller. Sort of says, maybe go sell those to the weapons dealer.
Okay.
Bring me back the gold. What are you wanting to sell, just so that we don't have to go through that whole travel to another guy?
Exactly.
What are you trying to sell off?
Just like short sword and stuff.
Basic-
some weapons.
Basic short sword. Just tell me what all
Yeah.
you're selling off, and I'll tell you how
Short
much they'll-
sword, javelin.
Okay, a short sword, a standard old short sword with nothing special about it. They'll give you, 10 gold pieces.
Oh, okay, yay.
A javelin, you'll get 5 silver per javelin.
Wow. Hardly worth it.
So you got 10 and a half gold pieces there.
I'm happy to put 490 gold pieces up towards this to help my good friend.
Okay. So how much gold are you putting on the table? Ordella. How much gold are you putting on the table, Ordella?
500.
And you're willing to put 490?
Yes.
Okay, roll persuasion then. You're saying I'll give you 10 gold less than you're asking.
Oh, I thought we already got the 10 gold for the sword.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then, yeah, but with a 10, he's not coming off the price any. Okay, you sold your sword for 10 gold. You put 490 and then 500, so you put 1,000 gold on the table. And yes, he gives you 5 potions of greater healing.
Yay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, wizard.
Can I just look at him and sort of growl?
That was going to be
That's
my next.
You were-
basically.
Different store, different
Hey.
guy.
Okay, fair enough.
He says something like, "Those are my last ones." As he like ducks under the counter and pulls out 5 more and sticks them on the counter.
It's like the iPhone in Futurama.
Yeah, basically. Exactly. Goes in your eye. All right. Yatara, what are you doing?
I'm just going to slap 100 gold pieces down on the counter.
Where are you?
Potion.
Potions, what are you wanting to buy? Healing?
Yep, for healing.
They'll give you 2 potions of standard old healing for that.
What is the standard? What is it?
The standard is 2d4 plus 2. Everybody that was spending big bucks got the greater, which is 4d4 plus 4.
I'll take standard. I'll take 2 standard.
Okay, so 2 standard healing potions.
I'm also going to take 2 standard healing potions for 100.
Okay. All right, mark off 100 gold, and you can take them. Okay. And are you wanting to purchase anything else, Yatara?
Would like to see what the spell shop has.
Okay. They have lots of different scrolls of different spells. They're priced at various different price points. Some of them are old, ancient, and powerful. Some of them are, more modern and simple and less valuable. What sort of spell are you looking for?
Maybe something more valuable.
Basically, every spell in the game is available to you for purchase. It just depends on the higher the level of the spell, the more it's going to cost. So what are you looking for specifically?
So, hold on here. Sorry.
Maybe not every spell. Like there's not like a scroll of wish. Like you get whatever you want. It's 20,000 gold. Like no, like not every spell, but like we can narrow it down by saying like I'm interested in something that can transport me, teleport me, or I want something that can cause massive damage for lots of gold. Like I don't care the cost, or I'm looking for something more reasonably priced. It's just depends on what you're sort of looking for.
Right. I think I'm looking for something maybe with flight.
Flight? Okay. There is a spell of flight.
For how much?
Let's see here. Flight is a let's see here. I can't remember what level flight is. Let me find it. Okay. Flight is spell of fly, touch a willing creature for the duration. 3rd level transmutation. Yeah, for a 3rd level spell, probably 200 gold for the scroll.
I'll take it.
Okay. You have a scroll of the spell of fly. It is at 3rd level. So basically you can read the scroll. You can copy it into your spellbook if you take the time, buy the ink, buy the paper, and then there's a defined cost for that. And then spend the time copying that into your book, and then you get to keep it. Or you can just read the scroll, cast the spell, and then it burns up as you read it. You don't remember it, you don't keep it, but you can cast it once for 200 gold.
So I have pen and paper that I can copy it. I guess, are we going to take a long rest before we head out of here?
Yeah, if you guys want to. It's an hour and 10 gold pieces for each level, so it's an hour and 30 more gold. So if you spend an hour and 30 more gold pieces, you can transcribe that spell into your spell book. Now you have 3rd level spell slots, right?
Yes.
So then you would be able to cast it. If you say, for example, you spend 10,000 gold, or let's say you spend 20,000 gold and you get a spell of Meteor Storm, like 9th level spell. Okay. You could read it and cast it, but you don't have a spell slot to keep that, right? So like you can't, even if you copied it into your book, you couldn't routinely cast it. Because you can copy any spell for which you have a spell slot of that level.
Yeah, I would like to copy it down and then learn it. I'm assuming we're going to take a rest before we leave.
Yeah, sure. So just mark down 30 more gold off, and you can copy that into your spell book.
Got
So
it.
you can add fly to your repertoire.
I'm sorry, how much was the spell?
200 gold.
Okay.
230 gold.
Got it. Okay.
And like 4th level spells are going to be like 500 gold. 5th level spells are going to be like 2,000 gold. It just goes up and up from there.
Got it. Okay. I think that's all I needed.
Okay. All right. You guys can take a long rest before heading outwards. Leonard.
Yep.
You have a
I'm gonna
necklace.
focus on my necklace.
All right. You have a necklace of fireball.
Oh ho ho!
It has 5 pearls on it. Each one you can pull off and throw as a casting of the fireball spell.
That's why I didn't haggle. That's what I was hoping for.
Hargus. You have a mug of frostiness.
Yes.
Any liquid that you put in there will become deliciously frosty.
Yes.
Has no benefit other than that it instantly chills your beer.
Precisely what I was looking for.
I mean, is there any other need?
Nope.
That would have been useful with Grandolpha's slurry.
Yeah,
Yes.
no warm beer for you. You could down just about anything.
Hey Jeff, instantly cools beer or any liquid placed in it.
Any liquid placed in it to a cool, not frozen, but frosty, tasty temperature.
So lava.
Which would harden immediately and fill the mug
And ruin it forever.
and ruin it forever, but it would be frosty.
Good job.
Thinking of- No, I just like to know options.
Yeah, any liquid. You put any liquid in there and it becomes a frosty, tasty temperature. It might not be tasty. It might not be tasty to put in your mouth.
Watch. This is going to save the world.
It is the item that's going to do it. But yeah, necklace of fireballs for you. All right, you guys are all rested up, and how are you heading out?
I'm going to drop one of the fireballs into my frosty mug and see if it cools the fireball.
Hmm.
No.
Hmm. Everybody make me dexterity saving throws, please. We've been there before. The wizard did it.
Yes.
We know what that's like.
Yes.
Amazing.
All right, everybody. You guys are in Easthaven, and I assume you're heading towards the spire there on the map. How are you heading out there? Following the river and then heading northward, following the lake shore and then heading eastward, or taking the road around to Carrickhonig and then crossing the northern tip of Lactinsmere. Choice is yours. The fastest way, I think, would be just a direct shot cross country. You have to kind of go around the lake a little bit.
So I think whichever way we went up the road, whether we went this side of the lake or this side of the lake, if we went from here directly east, we'd get there, I don't think, appreciably longer and without having to trek overland and risk getting lost in a Yeti-filled snowstorm.
So then your
But
thought
I'm very
process,
nervous about Yetis now.
yeah. So your thought process is head
Along the lake.
head west and follow the road to like Caer Denival and Carrickhonig, something like you'd say like do this. Go, or I can't make it stick. I don't remember how you stick it.
Oh, is the red dotted line is the road.
Yes. So you're saying you do something like this here, like that kind of trek there?
Yeah, or like along the Lac I thought those were roads, so that changed it a little bit.
No, that's a frozen river.
Yeah. So if we just follow the lake.
Yeah, that's one way you could do it. So like there's the road, and the road, if you follow the road directly, let's just say the road is going to be 5 plus 15, so 20 plus. Oh, it's adding it all together. Okay. It's going to be close to 30 miles to go around the road. If you go straight around the lake shore, you're going to save about 10 miles. It's about 20 miles to follow the lake shore. And if you cut across the country, it's going to be about 17 miles. So 30 miles, 20 miles, 17 miles, depending on what way you go. 30 miles, it's not going to be done in a day. 20 miles is pushing it to go in a day, probably 2 days. 17 miles on Axe Peak, you could be there in a day. 17 miles might be a riskier trek across harder country. The road might be safer, but long.
See, I forgot about the Axe Peaks too. That makes it quicker.
You can basically cover 1.5 times the distance that a human would be able to.
Yeah. What's everybody else think? Overland and knock it out in one day? Or play it safe?
What's Cadillac think?
I kind of think let's go overland because we time was of the essence in getting to Easthaven, but it's going to be a long way around to stay on the roads with this situation, and we may run into something interesting anyway going overland. So I vote for going overland this time.
Okay.
All right.
What about Ordella and Harkus? Any thoughts? Or
I'm with Cadillac on that.
all
We'll
right,
probably run into something on the road anyway, and it takes twice as long.
Yatara? Everybody's up for overland travel?
We got the Axe Peaks. I'm on board now. I forgot about them.
Are we gonna rest first?
Yeah, everybody has long rested.
Okay.
You can mark a long rest. Okay. Who is leading the party as you set out on Axe Peak overland?
I will.
Okay. As you set out on Axe Peak overland, the it starts out as a really nice, simple, easy trek. Over the course of the day, it starts to the weather starts to get a little bit rougher. The wind kind of picks up a little bit, and snow is starting to blow around, and it's getting a little bit harder to sort of see your way around as you're traveling overland. Why don't you roll me a survival check to try to guide yourself through this worsening weather?
All of us?
Just the leader.
Okay.
15. Yeah, with a 15, you're able to continue onwards, and you're making good pace following the lake. And you, by about noon, have reached the corner of the lake where the rivers start to branch off, and you're fairly certain that it's you're at that point. And you sort of have a choice here. You either continue to follow the lake on around, which acts as a fairly good guide, or cross the frozen streams and break off traveling directly overland towards where the spire ought to be. So which is it going to be, Navigator? Arcus, are you continuing to follow the lake? Or are you breaking off on a very direct path?
Given that we have the axe beaks,
Yep.
I think I would feel a little more comfortable taking more time and sort of walking around the lake.
Okay.
Assuming that I'm assuming, of course, that the direct path looks a little more treacherous.
It's just sort of, it's not necessarily more treacherous.
Okay.
You're sort of losing a bit of the lake is a good landmark for sort of like you're following the shore of the lake.
Yeah.
Once you sort of break off from the lake, you sort of start to lose kind of your landmarks. So following the lake?
Yeah.
All right. As you're doing so, the weather starts to get a little bit worse. I think the storm has started to kind of roll in. Roll me. Let me turn some of this volume down a bit. Loud. But do roll me a survival check. Again. As I turn some of the volume down. 18. All right. You're able to maintain yourself. It's pretty ugly out, but with an 18, you're able to follow the lake shore fairly easily. And it's getting to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so the sun is getting a little bit low in the sky. But you're at the point now where you've sort of reached the bend, and you would have to break offwards.
So I guess I'll just point to that and to the group and sort of indicate that that's where we're going, I guess.
Yeah, it's at the point where you've reached the northern shore of Lake Lackdenshmere, and you've got an overland journey of about 6 or 7 miles to reach where the spire would be going forward at this point. It is reaching the end of daylight.
So would we like to unfurl the castle, or are we?
If you'd like.
Okay. You set up the keep, say the magic words,
Effing them.
and everybody is able to crawl into the castle.
I'll
And
set up the hot tub.
You hear the wind
and the
whistling
grill.
in the distance. Thunder still striking outside as the storm is really blowing around you. But you're safe and comfortable and relatively warm inside of the fortress. Is everybody just turning in for the night?
I'll take a watch, I guess.
I'll take a watch too. That seems like a prudent move.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'll take last watch.
Okay. I got EOD dice. Who's got number 1?
I'll take it.
All right. All right. You hear thunder clapping outside. But outside of the distant thunder and blowing wind, nothing disturbs your fortress. Who is number 2?
I'm number 2.
Okay. Exact same roll. You hear lightning crash outside. That is not the right button. A transformer blew. Yeah, a transformer explodes, and but nothing else happens during your period of watch. Who's number 3? Okay, no one is watching number 3. And who had number 4?
I'll do 4.
And the 4th. Roll me perception, Leonard.
All right. Perception.
Leonard, you hear scratching outside, like on the walls and the doors of the fortress. But it is dark and the wind is blowing and thunder is still crashing, but nothing seems to have like made its way like through your defenses. It seems impervious. But there was something that seemed to be making like scratching sounds or something. In the early morning hours.
I am going to, I'm going to stare at the door for the remainder of the evening.
Okay.
And then let everybody know when they wake up
Scratchy
that
sounds.
I heard something outside.
Okay. Cadillac, while you're sleeping, you have a dream. And it is a strange dream because it is the realest thing you've ever like experienced. And I think that Cadillac is convinced that this is not just an ordinary dream, but is some sort of message to him. Maybe from Sylvanas.
Ooh.
I think Cadillac may be convinced of that. Like in the dream, you're standing in some sort of chamber. And it is an unfamiliar place. It is made of stone and glass and metal. And you've never seen anything quite like it. And there's a lot of stuff going on around you. There's action, screaming, and the sounds of combat. You can't see like what the combat is happening, exactly what is happening. But you know that there is some force that is trying to stop you, and you're convinced that you're the only one that can do it. Cadillac, nobody else knows this, and I don't know if you want to share this with the party or not. You might not. Cadillac, you're convinced that you're the only one that can do it, and you are certain that Dusk Crusher is the key. You just have this overwhelming sense that Dusk Crusher is the key, and that you're the only one that can do it. You're the one that's wielding it. But you're not sure what will happen to you if you do. You have to use it somehow. You just get the overwhelming sense, and it's the images are sort of like not clear, but it is like the message becomes, and you don't remember what even the images are. There's combat around you, there's screaming, there's dying, and you think your companions are dying. And you have to put the key in the lock somehow. But you're not sure what's going to happen to you if you do. In fact, you're fairly convinced that or fairly certain that that might be it for you. That might be the end of Cadillac if you did it. But you sense that your holding of Dusk Crusher will be your undoing. But at the same time that it may be the key to accomplishing whatever it is you need to accomplish.
the greater purpose, as it were.
Exactly. And you know that this moment will come in a moment of great stress in an unfamiliar environment. And you're over the one thing that you also, the only other thing that you recognize besides the room of like rock and glass and metal and the screams and dying around you and the battle that is ongoing, is there is a like white hot, beyond white hot, like energy source that is there. And you don't even want to like look at it because it sort of is like blinding to you. You can feel the heat radiating off of it. And the heat that's radiating off of it is the same heat that radiates off of Dusk Crusher. And then you wake up.
So I am here because of a dream. The day I joined the order, the night before, I had a dream about the Icewind Dale and these storms destroying everything. So this would not be the first time that Sylvanas directly spoke to me in a dream.
Yeah,
and so I'm totally on board that this was a harbinger of things to come, and also that it's the right path to go. I do not share this information with the rest of the group.
Yeah, you know, and you feel that Dusk Crusher is the key. And I guess the feeling is maybe kind of like feels like there like a sacrifice has to be made, and he's not sure that he can survive it if he does it. But you have to do something.
Right.
You have a task that's called to you, and you have to turn the key in the lock.
Right. I was sent here by my order to preserve the life of the Icewind Dale and to stop these unnatural forces that are bringing an end to so much here. And sacrifices must be made, and that's why the Order of Sylvanas exists, to be the line for the natural world. And so Cadillac Cadillac sort of internalizes all of this and is good with it, in theory. Perhaps he just ate too many nachos and there's nothing to it before bed. But Cadillac believes it's a message from Sylvanas.
Let's turn that off. The next morning, you can barely hear anything because it's terribly loud. But the fortress fades away and folds itself back up into the box, and there is just a full-on blizzard that you find yourself standing in. Lightning and blowing snow, and it is almost as if there is an oppressive... In fact, everybody roll perception. Wow. Okay. I gotta give it to Cadillac. Cadillac, after your dream last night, Cadillac, you hear a foul voice on the wind, and you're certain that there is a spell that is being cast that is trying to inhibit you from doing what you need to do. And this weather is unnatural. But you're all here. Arcus, are you leading the party through said blizzard?
I guess I'll turn around and ask them if we want to head on or if we want to launch the structure again. And
oh, I don't believe you can.
Yeah. Huh?
I don't think you can.
What? What kind of crap is that?
Yeah, it's only good for ever so often.
Okay, well, then I guess we're heading out.
Let me make sure how often you can do it. Ba, 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 ba. I guess it doesn't say. Yeah, so I guess you can
I think that was a conversation on the mountaintop of us continuously casting it and staying there forever.
Let me find out. Let me query here. Darren's Instant Fortress. How long can you keep it for? Just so you know, Ardella, the Instant Fortress is worth 5,000 gold.
Worth more than that.
Worth every penny.
I know, right?
Where that again?
It doesn't say how long you can keep it for.
It says it remains until you use an action to speak the command word that dismisses it, which
Okay,
only
so
works if it's empty.
So it's not dismissed. You can stay in it and wait the storm out if you so choose.
I mean, we're not overtly under time constraints that we know of, right?
Other than the Icewind Dale, but no.
I mean, other than, like, we know stuff is happening while we're not doing it, but we're not like, you have to hunt down the dragon or it's going to destroy the world.
Right. That is correct.
So I mentioned to the group that I think that there is a foul sorcery on the wind right now, and if we proceed forward, there may be some danger involved, and so I'm not sure that I feel strongly about not going ahead, but at the same time, I just want everybody to know that something's not right here today.
All right, then we need to
Wait.
spells and stuff, right?
This can be dangerous?
Ah,
I'm out.
Yeah.
bye, guys. Nice knowing you.
All right.
Well, I didn't get into this for danger. That's a bunch of
I
baloney.
wish somebody had brought that up days ago.
You guys are able to chill inside of your fortress, and eventually the storm passes you by. All you hear is the sounds of whistling wind as the storm eventually dies down some 5 or 6 hours later. Looking outside, the snow is fresh. Tracks are difficult to see. But weather has broken.
Do we get double hit points back for 2 long rests?
No.
Oh, worth a try.
Yeah, worth a try.
You're fully long rested. You guys heading out?
I guess
Yes.
so.
All right.
All right. You head outwards, traveling eastward across the tundra land. Give me a survival check to lead us to the spire. Holy cow, Harkus Broadtooth, the Overland Navigator, rolling some hot dice tonight. You, without difficulty, managed to get the party there. I will take you there now, as soon as I set the audio. Maybe not that one. Maybe we'll go with...
That's a little weird.
I don't know. Gotta go with... There we go. Yeah, that's good. I will take you there now. As soon as I find it. One moment. Here we are. Okay. The wind whistles. Snow is falling, but nowhere near as hard as it was. You eventually come across something very unusual standing outside of the snow, following Harkis's excellent directions. There's a 20-foot high, irregularly shaped spur of rock that is jutting out of the tundra ahead of you. It is smooth and shiny. And its surface could not possibly have been worn down by the wind. No, this protrusion looks utterly out of place, as if it had been thrust into the ground.
I would like to investigate it closely.
Okay.
And so I'm going to sort of get up next to it.
All right. As you search around it, you notice you don't see any doors or anything on it, but you do notice, Cadillac, there is what looks like a tunnel hewn out of the ice by something that is heading downwards into the ground in the direction of this thing. You're a dwarf. Roll me a history check.
I'm a barbarian dwarf.
You have advantage. You have stone cunning.
That was history. Okay. Oh no! Yeah.
Not a very educated
Yeah.
dwarf.
Yeah, again, you know, I'm a barbarian dwarf. I'm all about mushrooms and fungus and stuff. And
Okay, dwarf. Here's what you can tell. With an 11. This hole in the ground was not made by animal and was not made by pickaxe or by tool.
Or by vegetable.
Is it a mineral?
You see no vegetables around. It was not made by hand axe, by hand. It was not made by tool or by animal.
Very interesting.
It is tunneled into the ground, heading downwards toward this thing that is sticking out of the ground, that you can tell is definitely some sort of carved thingamabobber. If you're looking around it, you can roll me investigation as you're sort of investigating the actual thing as you were sort of going around it.
Yeah, I'm very interested to get close to the spire and see what I can see. And so that's investigation.
Yep. Okay.
Can I go up with him just to keep an eye on things?
Absolutely. You can roll investigation as well.
Okay.
What you guys can tell with a 15 is that there's definitely more to this thing. Downwards. Under the ground. And with a 15, what the two of you can tell is that it's definitely some sort of like man-made, or it's an unnatural structure. Man-made or magic-made or something like that. It is not not natural. And there's definitely more of it under the ground.
Is anything about this spire, the structure of it, the aesthetics of it, remind me of the Nautiloid?
Not really.
Or is it just different?
Well, roll history again. You can roll advantage. You're still stone cunning here. You're looking at the actual spire, not the tunnel.
Okay. And you said that was history.
Advantage history check. 14. It's not bad. You know about rocks. This is old. Man. Dude, this is the oldest thing you've ever seen. This is older than the dwarves. This is older than the elves. This is like... You're not even sure how old this is. This is old. Old. And it doesn't remind you of the nautiloid. Its geometry is angular and different. The nautiloid was like curves and almost like a hybridization between living and mechanical. This is like, if I could describe it, it's almost like, it's Cthulhu-esque, it's H.P. Lovecraft, it's geometries that don't make sense.
Okay. So I wander back here closer to the group, and then I sort of share what I've discovered here about this spire. That it's a very old. This is the tip of something that is just truly eldritch and ancient.
With your hold on, I'll give you one more thing.
Okay.
With your 14, you can tell that this thing was once connected to something larger. There are pieces on the back half of it here that you can't see on the screen, that are not depicted, that are like where it was connected to something that had been shattered and broken. So it was once a piece of something bigger that has been broken off.
So we found like some sort of, what was the statue that we found that the that Zardoc Sunblight was worshiping or whatever?
Yes, you found the Chardalin statue of Deep Dura.
Was that evocative of the same sort of vibe?
This is definitely older.
Okay. So this might be the does this match up, the architecture and everything, does it match up with the city from my vision, the underground?
Ooh, roll insight.
Why am I so bad at insight?
100% it does.
Okay. I'll share that with the group. But so it looks like it connected on one end.
Yeah, like it was connected to something larger than itself.
Like maybe an underground or perhaps above ground at that time city network or something.
Are you investigating it?
Yeah. I am intrigued now.
All right, roll investigation and move your character up to wherever you're investigating.
Okay, I'm going to like come over here where it's like poking out.
Yeah.
And see what I can figure out.
Roll investigation.
Investigation.
Oh, damn. Okay, you see markings on it. Leonard, you see markings on it. And here's the crazy thing. It's upside down. But as you sort of turn your head around, you can read a little bit about it. And
what's it say?
It doesn't make much sense, because like you recognize like the characters are there, but like they're words that you don't recognize. Think like us today trying to read Old English.
Okay, so it's like similar enough to be familiar, but not readily apparent.
Right. It's not like it's not like a it's almost like it's a exactly. It's almost like it's a language you don't speak, but you should speak it. Like I recognize this like letters and this like timber, but like the words aren't words that you know. And they're upside down, so it makes it doubly hard to read. So from what you can gather out of that investigation check is it's got some writing on it. And you're only able to get partials of the writing, and you can tell that it's upside down.
I'm gonna try to with my little drawing pad that I made my vision sketches on. I'm going to try to sketch out the words or symbols or whatever it is.
Yeah.
For later reevaluation and to share with the group.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want me to, I can give you sort of a picture of what it looks like. There is, what you see is, it's almost like a C-like shape with a long stick coming out of the bottom of it.
The bottom, like, to me, or the bottom to the way it is supposed to be oriented?
The bottom for the way it is supposed to be oriented. So think like there's an upside down C with this line coming out of the top of it in this orientation.
Okay, but it looks like perhaps it stood up on a pedestal.
This is just the writing. These are just the sigils that you're seeing.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm tracking. All right. All right. I'll let everybody know that it says stuff upside down, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. It's almost just like it's hard to read. You think it's
been there a long time.
You think maybe it's a name?
Like the name of a city, maybe?
Maybe. Or the name of a person. It's like a proper noun. So it's like even harder to like make out what this would be. That's the best I can give you for the 22 investigation, is some sort of proper noun in a language that's hard to understand. And it's upside down. And you know it's upside down. So you know there's more to this structure buried under the ice. You know that it is upside down. And you know that it is super duper duper old.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good bit more than we knew.
Everything is buried in snow, so any footprints or prior peoples are entirely made invisible by the blizzard that rolled by.
Alrighty, but this is also not the structure tower that we were dispatched to.
Oh no, you're there. This is it.
So this is the entirety of the structure.
This is like this is the spire that they have told you about.
Okay, we don't see another tower in the distance or something like this. Is
no.
It.
This is the location that the guys in the bar told you that the wizard had found. And they told Harkus the location, and Harkus just expertly, despite terrible weather, led you there.
All right, so we're just trying to figure out a way down now.
Or what this is.
Yeah.
At this point, I flag the attention of the group. I just point down to the hole and say, we need to go down.
You can roll me history, Yatara. You're not stone cunning, but as you're looking at it. Yatara, this thing was carved out by some sort of magical process. Definitely. Not animal, not mineral, but magic made this.
So wasn't this where the orb is that we...
You don't know. You know that there is an underground city that is buried, apparently, somewhere in the north.
So we're not at the Reged Glacier, and we know that the city is under the Reged Glacier.
But yes, you have heard that it is at the Reged Glacier, and you're not at the Reged Glacier.
Okay. When we were in the cabin where I died.
Yes.
We found an old book.
Yes.
That was like nether lore or nether wind or nether something.
Talked about the civilization of Netheril.
Netheril.
Mm-hmm. Netheril.
But we didn't get much. That was like burned beyond recognition, but we could read the spine.
Yes. I can't remember the exact name, but
I can't remember, but
Magics of
we
Netheril.
sort of knew there was a book talking about an ancient civilization. But
called Netheril.
But the name that I see on the the thing or the proper noun is not that.
No, it is
Okay.
not.
All right.
Gosh, give me insight, I guess. See what you can.
I'm really pulling from the memory banks here.
No, you're this is great. No, you're great. Give me insight. See if I can give you a little more. Okay. 13, that beats a 10. That's what I said to that. Think like Netheril would be like a people's, like the Roman people. All right. Or like the Netheril would be like a civilization. Like
So it wouldn't be the name of a city, it would be like
right.
You wouldn't expect to get somewhere and see, okay, America written on.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Detroit.
We found upside down Detroit, but it doesn't say America anywhere on it.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so that's what I can give you.
All right, I'm ready to go down.
Okay. You guys are going downwards.
Let's go.
All right, let me bring you there. All right. You slide down this slippery tunnel until eventually the tunnel ends in an upside down room, the contents of which are all coated in frost. Across from the tunnel is a wooden door that is flush with the ceiling that used to be the floor. The door is ajar and flanked by 2 identical stone statues that hang down like stalactites. Across from the statues are upside-down flames burning in them. Sconces with upside-down flames burning in them. The statues seem to merge seamlessly with the ceiling, and they depict a long-faced human dressed in wizard's robes, clutching a staff.
Is there similar writing on this statue?
Yes, there is. You can sort of start to make out, and what you can sort of see is that this is some sort of proper name of whoever owned this area.
Yeah, so this is like a statue of some dude who was in charge.
Or was in charge of this particular spot, maybe. But it does have something of it. It is like Nerdal of Ythurin. You did get the name Ythurin.
Okay.
I can spell that for you if you like.
No. As long as he's not a lich, I don't care.
Ythryn. You have no idea if he's a lich or not.
Hopefully he's not a lich.
Nerdal of Ythurin. So the ceilings here, or the floors, it's a 12-foot high, and the doors are on the ceilings here, and they are like 8-foot high doors. So it's about a 4-foot ledge to climb up through the door, but not too difficult to do. You could do so. And
but this doesn't look like a giant city. It looks like
it's human-sized.
Normal-sized doors for ostensibly normal-sized people.
Yes.
All right. That's reassuring.
It's just all upside down now, and there's statues of what looks like wizards clinging to the ceiling.
Are they like adorning the wall, or are they pointing at something, or is it like in the middle of a plaza you'd see like a statue?
They're not pointing at anything. It seems to be sort of beckoning through or something. Maybe this was actually an entrance at one point.
Okay, so just like, welcome to our city, here's a statue of some dude.
Or welcome to my house.
Yeah.
Welcome to Nerdal of Ythurin.
To my spire or my area or something.
My wizard's tower.
All right. I guess we go. Directions are confusing me now. Geographically down.
There's no obvious way down. You're on what would be the ceiling through the floor, unless you're gonna try to smash through the ceiling / floor here.
No, there's gotta be a stairwell or an elevator or a portal or something somewhere. So
Well, there's this door.
Pushing the door open.
I'll just go through the door, climb up the ledge and go through the door.
Okay. You push the door open, and there is looks like a hall that is frost filled from where this door was slightly ajar, and is choked with rubble. There are other doors to the north and to the south.
Can I take a quick look at the walls, by the way, to see if they are of the same construction as the outer spire that we saw, or if this was constructed later?
Yeah, sure. Roll history.
Okay. And is that advantage again?
Yeah, you're stone cunning.
Okay.
Yes, they're the same.
Okay.
Something else strikes you, Granite Guts. The stone is smooth and glassy-like, and the walls have sort of an angular feel to them that is a little bit unnatural. And you can't help but be reminded of the dream that you had just last night. And the feel in this place, although not exact, it feels so similar to that feeling that you had before.
At this point, I turn around to the group and I say, be on your guard. I don't think we will find this place empty. And that's all I say.
Okay. There's a hallway choked full of rubble. There are two other doors clinging to the ceilings, one to the north and one to the south. Who is leading the party? Cadillac crawls into the hall. Leonard, you did as well, correct?
Yes, I'm in the hall, and hearing that for whatever reason, Cadillac thinks we're not likely to be alone. I am moving perhaps a bit more cautiously than I would like to. So I'm gonna maybe peek in this door closest to us.
North or south?
See if I can north. See if I can wrestle it open.
Yeah, you're able to push the door ajar and open. You're trying to do so cautiously.
Cautiously, I guess I could have checked for traps, but I didn't, so I'm just gonna open it.
You didn't. As you do so, this room, it's upside down. Everything is smashed, contains shattered and jumbled equipment. Much of it near two heavy work tables, one on its side and the other upside down.
Okay, I'm gonna look at the work tables to see if I can tell what kind of room this was. Like, look at the stuff that maybe fell off of them, or
yeah. You see smashed bottles and alchemical things that were from some sort of strikes you like a artificer or a wizard artificer, like somebody that is imbuing objects with magical powers. You roll me investigation.
Yeah, I am. My interest is piqued. I'm looking for something salvageable.
The most interesting thing you find is an iron key amongst the ground. Everything else is pretty much smashed and kind of broken and not particularly useful. But you do find an iron key.
I'll grab the iron key. and then I'll let my compatriots know that this room's clear. There's a door here.
There is
Does
another
that look
door.
like it is serviceable?
It is. The room's upside down again, so it's 4 feet up, but it is serviceable.
Guess that's the benefit of it being upside down. It's hard to get rubble in front of doors.
Indeed. Are you opening that door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll head over to that door and try to open it.
As you open that door, the floor of this room is covered with shards of glass, frozen pools of spilled liquids, and the wreckage of 2 cabinets in a niche in the far corner of the room. A metal chest is bolted to the ceiling, its lid locked.
Oh, does it look like an iron lock?
It does.
Okay. I'm gonna let everybody know I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna need some help to get to this ceiling chest.
Yeah, there are lots of. It is 12 feet up. There are lots of smashed bottles in there. If anybody is helping, they need to move their character tokens to where they are going. Everybody else is still standing in that doorway.
I will help.
How are you helping?
How far up do you say it is?
12-foot high ceilings. There is an iron chest that is bolted to what would have been the floor, but is now the ceiling upside down. And as you're in here, you see the remnants of lots of glass bottles that are all smashed all over the ground. And their contents in multiple colors is all frozen to the ground. Whatever liquids were in these glass vials is frozen to the ground.
So I'm real worried that in that chest is a bunch of potions, so that if we aren't careful when we open it upside down, we're gonna lose everything. I don't know what's in there, but how is this bolted to the ceiling? Like, does it look like we could perhaps unboltify it?
I'm gonna say
Potentially.
it's bolted with bolts.
It's bolted with bolts.
Just my guess.
Do you have a...
And it's bolted to the floor, technically.
It is bolted to the floor that is on the ceiling. Do you have an air hammer?
Let me check my bag.
I have a hammer.
Let's just say, if you happened to have like
I have
hammer,
Smith's tools.
a drill
and a
hammer,
hammer.
A drill hammer driver. Yeah, you could potentially undo the bolts with Smith's tools. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Are you going to climb up there and try to unbolt it?
Is there something I can climb on?
Can she?
Broken tables and things you could stack up.
Can
Okay.
I use her Smith tools and use my mage hand?
Ooh, even better.
Ooh.
Oh.
I like
Okay.
it.
Okay, so casting Mage Hand with Smith's tools. Do you have
Sure.
anybody else that can cast Mage Hand?
I don't have mage hand.
You do?
I do not.
Okay, so you've got a wrench in your Mage Hand, and it's going to try to go up and try to unwrench the bolts.
Unwrench.
Before we do this, can someone? Because I have a feeling this chest is going to come tumbling down. Do we have a way to break its fall?
2 orcs.
I'll stand under it and try to catch it. And if somebody else can stand close to me, maybe somebody can catch the thing.
Well, how close do you have to be with Mage Hand? Do you have to be directly under
30
it?
feet.
30 feet.
Okay.
10
Then we're good.
points. 10 points of bludgeoning damage to...
I need to look at the text of Featherfall.
You may not cast Featherfall on a chest.
Okay.
Is it a willing object?
Or, is there a way to use my new rope and grappling hook to be able to gear it to something on the chest to climb up and open it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You could just
Kind of
grapple.
toss stuff out as like Mardi Gras.
You could just grapple hook and have somebody climb up there with the key and unlock it. But the contents, if you're not careful, might
Okay.
tumble.
I think we need like a net as well.
You could definitely tie the rope into a net of sorts with like clothing, some of your winter clothing and rope. You could make a catch.
Did
We could
Harker
use some
sell all
pelt.
of
We
his
probably have
pelts?
extra pelts.
Oh, I have the cloak of my order that I can just unsnap, and
We all also
that's a
have
nice
a whole
big
bunch
thing.
of winter clothing that we just got too.
Okay, so amongst the rope and all of the clothing and cloaks, you guys are able to construct a net that can catch things with. And then, are you going to try to unbolt the whole chest, or are you going to try to just unlock it up there? And then
No,
catch
if we've got a grapple and a net, I think we can just unlock it and not unbolt it.
Okay, who's climbing up there?
Somebody who can check for traps.
Can we
And
use
who
the mage
has good
hand for that?
dexterity.
Can we just use Mage Hand for that?
Yeah, you can use Mage Hand to unlock it for sure. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we've got the key, so we're not picking a lock.
Nope, it's Mage Hand to unlock.
I do want to climb up and inspect the lock for like traps.
Just as an aside, I do still have a chime of opening as well.
What?
I just remembered. Really,
15
next
minutes
time we have to
later,
unlock
after all this
something.
debate.
Oh,
I
look, I
just wanted to
found
go
this.
through. Yeah, I just wanted us to go through this
Hey,
intellectual.
next time maybe we can use something like this.
And I also have a chime of potion catching.
You do have a key.
So, remembering the last chest we opened, where a room filled with poisonous gas and we murdered a bunch of dwarves, I do want to climb up while we've got it anchored and see if there's a trap or anything we need to take precautions on.
Okay. Roll me investigation to search for traps.
Yeah.
You detect no traps on the device.
All right. Well,
No mechanical traps. You're not certain about invisible magical sigils, but you certainly see there's nothing mechanical there.
heck, I'm already up here. I may as well try to open it.
Okay, insert the key and turn it.
Yep.
As you do, 5 vials of potions all come tumbling out of the chest and are caught by your rope and cloak material,
Yes.
preventing them from
Wow.
smashing on the ground. You have a potion of acid resistance, a potion of cold resistance, a potion of fire resistance, a potion of force resistance, and a potion of lightning resistance.
Wow.
Wow.
I want cold
All right.
resistance. I'm cold.
Sweet.
All right. So we've got a potion of resist everything.
1 of each. Indeed.
How many in total? 5?
5.
5.
5.
And there's nothing. None of the bottles that were already in here survived. They're all.
Everything else is smashed and frozen to the ground.
Can I just? Will it work if I turn them all into? Gather them up into popsicles, like potion popsicles.
Are you going to lick the floor?
No, if they're frozen, it's like a sheet of ice that I could then section into shards. It's like Otter Pops. I'm just making a bunch of Otter Pops, Jeff.
Hold on. So you're suggesting you're suggesting an infinity bottle of potion pops.
Yeah,
of effects that you have no idea what they do. Yes, you can.
I would just like to throw out there that I also have a mug of frosty chilling as well.
Help me, Lord.
Which in this case will actually warm them up to a nice frosty temperature, which would be perfectly drinkable.
Right.
Yeah, okay, Kenny. I say this not to Kenny, not to Leonard. Yes, you're able to section out 5 different what would essentially be an
And you start licking the floor and the doorknobs and the windows.
An infinity bottle
Uh-huh.
of potion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little of this, a little of that, all strewn together. It's kind of a whole Emperor's New Groove kind of thing. Which one's the potion of llama? You don't know.
Yep.
Cusco's potion, the potion for Cusco. Yeah, you have five infinity bottle potion pops that you have scraped off of the ground. Drink it, I dare you.
Add custom item, otter pops. Quantity
infinity.
5. All right.
Here's how this is going to work.
Uh-oh.
You're basically going to roll a dice, and it's going to randomize whatever potion it's going to be. Could be something really good, could be something really bad. Potion of poison, and you die. Potion of diminution, you turn into a shrimp. Potion of, could be good, could be terrible.
It's gonna be fun and random. Roll a D100.
Basically.
You a cockroach.
You have 4 frozen potion pops of infinity bottle.
You grow boobs.
Yep, basically. You're now a woman.
Leonard's up to the challenge.
All right. Mark it down. You have it. There are no other doors in this room.
All right, then I guess we're turning back out and going through the south door.
Okay.
Unless anybody else wants to direct our exploration efforts. Leonard is just super jazzed at this being connected to the deep dark
finally
underground
be a real
city or
boy.
whatever. Right. Maybe it's a potion of turn you into a person.
Pinocchio potion.
Potionocchio?
All right. South door, I reckon.
Okay, south door. I'll open it for you. As you open this door, you see tall bookshelves that are affixed to the outer wall that have spilled their contents onto the ceiling-turned floor. A large table lies on its side, one leg broken. 5-foot wide tunnel in the floor to the east leads downwards.
All right, I'm going to call everybody in here because I'm here for the tunnel, but somebody might want the bookshelves. Oh, I am going to look for a copy of that History of Netheril book or whatever it is.
You don't find that, but you do find a book titled The Magical Wonders of Netheril.
Oh!
The book is a collection of interviews with Netherese archmages who discuss their studies of ancient elven magic and the creation of something called mythalars. And the book contains a sketch of such devices.
Do they look anything like the orb of weather control?
Incredibly so.
What if this is just like technology run amok and it has nothing to do with Auril or a curse? What if it's just people tried to make a magic weather machine and it started working not good?
Well, the book describes actually the mythalar.
You just ruined the whole game.
The book actually describes the mythalar as the source of energy that the Netherese used to build their cities. The cities were not cities on the ground, as it turns out, as you're sort of thumbing through this book. And it is hard to read because it's the same sort of like old Englishy kind of script.
Right.
But what you can gather as you're thumbing through it is that they used this power to hover their cities. The city was actually a flying city that hovered in the air. And the mythalar was the source of energy that kept the city afloat. And the sketch, as it is described in the book, appears to be Let me see if I can find a picture for you guys. Make a handout for you. One moment.
I like this is some like Elon Musk project gone wrong.
Mm.
At this point, haven't all of his projects gone wrong?
I mean, not SpaceX.
Only because he bought it from other people. Oh, you're kidding. Did it not download right? Hang on. I'm trying to get you an image of this this thing.
This Malamar?
Yeah, this Mythalar.
Mythalar.
Yes. Mythallar. Mythalar. I want to show you the image of the sketch that's in the... I'm uploading the file. Saving it. I'm going to show it to you. Ignore the people standing around it and the giants and things.
Oh, but is this the glowy thing in my vision at the center of the city?
It strikes you as extremely similar. Kind of like you have sort of a hit in the center of your stomach as you sort of look at the sketch, because you feel the energy almost radiating off the page of this thing. And you get the sense that this may be the key.
But Cadillac didn't tell us about that vision.
No, and I think Cadillac's maybe keeping that to himself. But yes, what they're describing in this book that you've picked up, and the sketch of this Mythalar looks strikingly similar to the vision that you saw at the center of the city. I can show you, I think, the image that you saw previously in your vision. I'll show it to you if I can find it. Which looks something like this.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, if anybody else wants to investigate the bookshelves, I'm about to jump down this hall.
And on that note, this is where we will pick it up next week, as the tunnel descends further down into this spire.
Before we leave this specific scene, I guess, I was curious about, because I think we're about to jump into the hole. What happens at the end of this hallway? Because I stayed to investigate that before joining.
There were steps on what would be the but are since like destroyed and filled with rubble that makes it essentially impassable.
Got it.
We'll find out what happens to the rest of you next time on Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Very interesting.
As we end with Leonard jumping down a hole.
Yeah, as Leonard starts to slide down the hole.
You're like, no, wait.
Into what are actually the higher levels, but are lower because it is upside down. And on that note, we will end it for the evening.
Yay. That was cool.
I hope you guys had a good time, and we will continue to unravel this mystery. I like the notion of that it could be an Elon Musk experiment gone wrong, which would be interesting because this has been going on for this has been here for thousands of years, and the ice torture just began. But maybe this is the key to stopping it all, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. The Mythalar reminds you very much of the summer star that was created by Macradius he was using Netherese books and texts that he was pondering through to try to create the Summer Star. And it looks like he made a miniature version of it inside of the flat cabin. I hope you guys had a good time. The story is starting to tie itself together. Good night, everybody. We will see you all on Friday.
Yay.
Around, I guess, 7 o'clock for a pie fight. Make a 6th level character that is a little bit goofy, and we'll figure out something to do.
All right.
See you guys then. Good night, everybody.
Bye.